It's like we have been forced to accept this new government, whether we like it or not. How can we go and join the government with the same government who are driving us out, who are killing us, who are letting all the properties and houses burn in Ifal? The sentiments of the people are still high. The emotions are still high. We do not forget what we have gone through. We have been through unspeakable atrocities. It's like spitting on the people's wish. So many peoples have died in this ethnic conflict. Women's paraded naked. Peoples had been chopped up. Do they forget all this? Our political demand is to be separated from the Meitei government. This is a spontaneous. If you know the dynamics of Manipur, if the peoples are angry, people will come to the street and, do whatever they feel like. Having known that, if they still go ahead, that means they are ready to face the music. We have no interest with the Manipur government. We have been separated by them. We have lost so many lives, so many properties. The Manipur government, along with the state mechanism, are participating in driving out the Kuki-Zo people. Consider India and Pakistan. Pakistan is our enemy. Will you go and sit together and form a government with them? It's like that. The sentiments is the same.
Hello and welcome to HT's weekly talk show, The Interview. In Manipur, emotions are running high. People have taken to the streets and there are protests over the new government. Up in arms is the Kuki-Zo Council, who feels that they have been betrayed by one of their own. For record, Kuki MLAs have joined the new government. In what has been termed a balancing act, the centre has zeroed in on a Meitei as chief minister with two deputies, one each from the Kuki and Naga community. Yet the state is on fire, with Kuki-Zo Council opposing the installation of the new government. We have with us Ginza Worlzong, a familiar and prominent name from the community, who leads the banner of revolt against the new government. Quote, "The wounds are deep, as is the mistrust," unquote, he says. For him, Kuki MLAs joining the new dispensation is akin to aligning with the enemy. Ginza Worlzong takes us through the demands of the community and why they continue to feel shortchanged. Ginza Worlzong here with us in this edition of HT's weekly talk show, The Interview. Welcome to the show, Mr. Ginza Worlzong, and thank you for being here with us.
Thank you.
Without getting into the issue of one of your own joining the government, which of course I will discuss later, let us look at the big picture first. How do you see the end of the president's rule and formation of the new government in Manipur?
It's like inevitable, but we don't see any prospect or positive outcome or any hope from the new government. So we are just watching along how things are, going.
You have yourself said that the government is trying to restore normalcy and attempting a balancing act, but this approach will not work. Why this pessimism, and why can't this be a first step? Why you, in one sense, jumping the gun rather than waiting for things to unfold?
Because right now the situation on the ground is far from peaceful. Although the absence of firing or violence doesn't mean that the two warring community, I would say, the Meitei and the Kuki-Zo, are still not into any kind of agreement yet. And there is no solution provided by the government as of now. and there's no written agreement or of any kind of mutual agreement between the two communities. So it's like we have been forced to accept this new government, whether we like it or not.
In fact, one of your MLAs, Mr. Sanate, who has joined the government, is right in saying that the solution has to be at the table and not by guns. Do you agree?
Yeah, we do agree. That's why talks are going on with the central government. Our representative, the KNO and UPF, have been talking with the Ministry of Home Affairs for about 2-3 rounds already. So talks are going on, and we are hopeful that this talk will come to some kind of solution. Sanate means that talk table. The table would be with the Meitei government. That we do not trust the Meitei government. That's why we do not prefer to talk to them. The government have earlier attempt to make us sit together and try to discuss, but it failed.
You know, Mr. Sanate has also said that agreeing to join the government does not mean we have surrendered, and that there can be no peace without a government in place. What is your point of disagreement on this?
See, Mr. Sanate, Ngorsanglo Sanate, do not go with the people wish. The Kuki-Zo Council, the SOO, and the MLAs had a joint meeting in Guwahati earlier last month and deliberate on this particular issue, whether to join the government or not. And it was decided that we should not join the formation of the government unless the state or the central government give a written assurance that they will take up or commit to the political demand of the Kuki-Zo people. If Mr. Ngurosanglo Sanate go ahead without listening to the people's wish on his own, then he is leaving behind the wish of the people and he is on his own. How can he fight for the people on his own? The people must have to back him up.
But he can certainly take up the issues, which is what he and the other MLAs have said. And you know, he's also said our demand will continue, but it cannot be done at a moment's notice. Why don't you have faith and wait for things to unfold?
The main concern is the mistrust of the Meitei government, because in the previous government, under Biren Singh, chief minister, the Kuki-Zo people lost so many lives, lost so many properties, and more than 40,000 people are displaced, have driven out from the Imphal Valley. So we do not trust. The trust with the Manipur government is no more with the people. And like I said, there is no solution yet or no mutual agreement between the two communities, the Meitei and the Kuki-Zo. So without such thing, how can we go and join the government with the same government who are driving us out, who are killing us, who are letting all the properties and houses burn in Imphal? There is the sentiments of the people. And if the MLAs, those MLA who join the government do not understand the sentiments of the MLA, how can they represent people?
You know, it is not the same government because it is a new government and it has done a balancing act by having a Kuki as deputy CM and some of the other MLAs, and they've taken them into their fold. So the faction which you're talking about is only one faction which is not agreed. But there are other groups the government has spoken to and they have agreed to this.
See, whether the chief minister changes or not, the people are the same. We are having conflict with the Meitei community, not just one person. It's a community conflict between the Meitei and the Kuki-Zo. So whether the chief minister changes or not, it's still the same. They're the same people.
It is not only the chief minister changing, it is also one of your own being deputy CM.
That is what the government is trying to do. They're trying to normalize it by putting one deputy chief minister from the Kuki-Zo, one from the Naga.
So what's wrong with that?
The sentiments of the people are still high. The emotions are still high. We do not forget what we have gone through. If they go ahead and join without the by violating.
Don't you see that as the first step towards reconciliation?
The MLAs are the representative of the people. They should listen to the wish of the people. Going ahead without against the wish of the people is not the way.
So the problem is the way they did it rather than what they did.
Yes, in a way. We have been through unspeakable atrocities in the past almost 3 years, and the people are still hurt. The sentiments are still high, and they need to understand that. And if they go ahead without against the wish of the people, it's more like they are going after their individual career and personal gain.
Which is what you have said, that they have put political power and their self interest above the people's aspirations. Don't you think that's a very sweeping statement?
No, it is what it is. See, the Kuki-Zo Council, then there is the SOO group and the MLAs group, and it has been decided we should not go and join. And why do they have to go and violate that?
But is the boycott of Kuki MLAs, including the Deputy CM, the only solution and the answer?
No, it is not the solution or the answer, but since they are going against the people, then boycott has to come. They have take responsibility of their actions. They know that this would be coming.
Like you said, that the Deputy CM has blood on her hands.
Yes, because so many peoples have died in this ethnic conflict. Women's paraded naked. Peoples had been chopped off. Do they forget all this? The people's sentiments are very high, and this is not the right time. There is no need to join the government at this point.
What about the Kuki-Zo peace deal, which the government is finalizing? And that was the nudge which made them join. And the government seems to be fulfilling that.
I am not aware of any kind of peace deal which the government is offering us. Maybe in the course of the future, we might get to know it. Once we get to know it, we will discuss among ourselves, among the council, and we'll come up with whatever we are going to do about it.
Let me give you some details which are available that the government has worked out in this pact. Provisions for separate administrative and financial powers to the hill tribes, which is a step short of the separate administration and actually fulfills most of your demands.
All right. Once the government offer to us, we will look into it and we'll see whether we can go along with that. But as of now, our political demand is a separate administration in the form of UT with legislature. Our demand is to be separated from the Meitei government. So, after having a political demand of separate administration from the Manipur government, going back and joining the same government is illogical. We have demand a separate administration from Manipur, and why would we go and join the Manipur government again? There's no reasoning to it. So if the government is coming up with a peace deal, we will look into it, we will sit together, we'll discuss the pros and cons, and we will respond accordingly.
You would be prepared to take something little less than a separate administration for the time being, or as a first step?
We need to have a public consultation with the people also. If the people are okay with it, yes, we may.
But you know, the demand for a separate administration is a process. And MLAs from your community being in the government should be the first step and a step forward. In fact, you should trust your deputy CM to take the cause forward rather than saying, this is not good enough, people have been betrayed. Why don't you wait and have faith that your MLAs, people from your community, will press for the demands?
The deputy CM of the new government, she herself was present in the joint meeting that we had in Guwahati, where we took the resolution that we should not join the formation of the government unless the government give us a written assurance for their commitment to our political demand. So, she being part of it and then violating the same resolution that she was part of is like a betrayal. That's why we said blood is on her hand.
Don't you think you're jumping to conclusions and actually jumping the gun? Give it time. It's been just a few days.
See, our stance is very straightforward, which is we should not join the formation of the government. So there is no if and buts about that.
So, is violence the only answer?
No, those are people showing their frustration and anger against their decision to join the government. The people felt betrayed.
Yes, but as far as you're saying that she should have discussed with all of you, some of the angry protesters did not even let her take oath. She had to take her oath from Delhi. So, under those circumstances, how can there be any talks or discussion?
So that's why all the MLAs need to work together in this political movement of ours. They cannot go astray. And even if whatever they think about may be the best for them, they have to work together. Otherwise, this thing will happen for sure.
But when you keep saying the people, the people, the people, surely there are others whose support they have had. And there has been an understanding reached with certain sections where they have done it and joined the government. So, simply because your faction or the Kuki-Zo council has been left out, you're crying foul.
Yes, they being an MLA, they would have a supporter of their own. Yes, they would have. But as a Kuki-Zo community as a whole, and KZC being the apex body of the Kuki-Zo Council, that is our stand and our decision, and we will go with it. Whether there might be some small section of the people who are still supporting the MLS.
Tell me honestly, who is behind these protests? Which is that invisible hand? And what is the game plan? Never to let Manipur be normal again?
See, there is no organization as such behind this protest. These protests are the people's coming out on the street, protesting, showing their frustration and anger. So you cannot put attack on anyone on this. So this is a spontaneous. If you know the dynamics of Manipur, if the peoples are angry, people will come to the street and do whatever they feel like.
Such large scale violence cannot be without some support and someone fanning and also financing such a movement.
I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to pin it on some organization.
I'm not, I'm asking you.
See, the Kuki-Zo Council, we have said that we advise the MLA not to join the formation of the government. And if any MLA still go ahead and join the formation of the government, it will be going on their own and they will be responsible for whatever happens to them. That we have already put out a warning. Having known that, if they still go ahead, that means they are okay. They are ready to face the music.
So, what is the next step? What is your game plan? What are you going to do? They've joined the government. They say they are going to work for their community, something which you do not believe. You are on a warpath, or the Kuki-Zo Council is on a warpath. What is the next step?
See, if the three of them think that by joining the government, they think that they will be able to bring solution, fine. Let them try on their own. But the rest of us have another our path to follow. Our demands are still the same, and we will strive for that without them. And if that offer which you talk about, the peace deal comes, then we will look into it and see if that is good for us. So basically, we will continue to fight for a separate administration is what we're going to do. Whether the MLA went and joined the government or not, the Kuki-Zo Council, the SO group, and the rest of the MLA will still work together and strive for the separate administration. We don't know what will be our future holds, so we are open to discussion with the government also, and we'll see what is best for us.
But now the government will actually prefer to speak to those who are in government rather than to groups who are protesting.
Fine, let's say if the government think that these three MLAs represent the people, then let them talk to them. Till now, if the government don't know who actually represent the people, then the government also is naive, and I think they do not understand the dynamics of Manipur.
So, till then, you think the answer is violence and protests and blood?
No, I never said violence is the answer. What I'm saying is the people reaction when these three MLAs joined the formation of the government. That was the reaction from the people. Doesn't mean that we are okay with that. It's just that we cannot stop them. We don't say go and do violence. We never tell them.
But you have not also stopped them.
See, in a democratic country like India, we can go and protest, right? We have the right to show our anger, show our grievances. That is the spirit of democracy. We have the right to protest.
So, you find the protests which have led to violence justified?
So when you say violence, I don't know what violence you're talking about. People are going on a peaceful rally, shouting slogans. That's not violence.
Threat of self immolation?
No, see, it's just a threat. There is no such thing happens because that lady who tried to burn herself is so disappointed with them. That's why I'm saying the sentiments of the people are very high.
So, what is the way forward? The government, in its wisdom, to which of course you don't agree, tried the balancing act of having a deputy CM and the first woman deputy CM in Manipur from your community, balancing it with another deputy CM from the Nagas and the Methi chief minister. And you are not happy. So, what is the way forward?
See, we are demanding separate administration, and then we are joining the same government again. Does not make sense. Why would we do that? If we join the same government that driven us out, it's like end of story, no?
You know, it's not the same government. The composition of this government is different.
The head of the state is only changed.
But you have two deputies also, which has never happened before in the
See,
past.
it's like making it look very nice to the rest of the world. No, we'll keep one deputy minister to a Kuki and then another to the Naga. It looks very nice, right? For the government or for the world to see. But the thing is, the situation is different here. The ground reality is different. Just because these two, you have one deputy CM from Naga and Kuki doesn't mean that, we are going toward peace.
But don't you see this as a step forward than having only a Methi governing? Now you have at least two representatives from different communities. Don't you see that as a kind of a positive step?
We have no interest with the Manipur government. We have been separated by them. We have lost so many lives, so many properties. And that's why we have demanded a separate administration.
But you know, a separate administration is a process. It also sets a dangerous precedent for others to demand something similar. So, is a climb down possible? Or would you say my way or the highway?
Like I said, it has to be discussed. We have several groups who are leading the political movement here. So we all have to put our head together and see. So we agree to this for now, while we'll keep the spirit of the movement alive. So these are the discussion that has to be coming up. So until we have this kind of discussion, I will not be able to tell you what, our response. So I cannot say no or yes here, my way or the highway. I didn't say that. It's a very difficult situation. It may take a long time. We cannot say that we will get it or not also. But the spirit has to go on and we need to see options.
When you say options, you know, that is some light at the end of the tunnel. In your, and I'm using the word your perception or analysis or logic, what could be those options which are short of the asking for the moon, which is a separate administration? What could be the via media?
See, we're not asking for something which is out of the constitution. We're asking something which is possible. In the history of India, if I'm not mistaken, There is no instance wherein the state government is participating in the ethnic cleansing of one particular community. Here, the Manipur government, along with the state mechanism, are participating in driving out the Kuki-Zo people. This is something which I don't think any other state have faced in India. That's why the government of India should look into our plight and should arrange something which is just for us in accordance with the Indian constitution. I understand there are other people also from other part of the country are looking for similar kind of demand, but the situations are different. For us, our situation is fighting for our survival. So I appeal to the government of India also to quickly bring solution to Manipur as soon as possible.
Right minded people feel that the government has taken the first step and their balancing act is being flagged as a step towards a solution. So to say that the government has done nothing somehow may be a bit unreasonable.
Yeah, the government is trying its best to bring some kind of to move toward the solution. I understand that. I'm not against it. It's just that we don't want our people to participate or to join force with the same people who kill us. That is something which is very hurting. That's all. We don't blame the government. What I feel is that let the Métis form their government, and we will continue to strive for our political demand. There's no need to join their government.
Kipgill's appointment was projected by the Union government as a progressive step in the direction of peace. She was also celebrated as the first woman deputy chief minister of the state. How is her resignation, which you are demanding, from the government going to help your cause? If anything, it would perhaps be a setback because any forward movement towards a separate administration would then be undone in one stroke.
See, so far there's no mutual agreement between Métis and the Kuki-Zo. They are still our enemy. We are still in a conflict. So under these circumstances, how can we go and sit together with them? Consider India and Pakistan. Pakistan is our enemy. Will you go and sit together and form a government with them? It's like that. The sentiment is the same.
So it is a India versus Pakistan situation vis-a-vis the cookies and the metis, or worse?
I'm just taking an example. When you consider one community as your enemy, of course we have to say our enemy because they kill us. They have shown no mercy against us. So it's our enemy. How can we go and sit together with our enemy?
But there's always room for negotiation.
Yes, like I said, we have our political dialogue going on with our UPF and KNO. Let that continues.
The center sees the protests as teething problems and posturing rather than prolonged unrest and non cooperation. They don't see this as a unrest which is going to go on or the non cooperation which is going to continue. They say these are teething problems and things will settle. What do you have to say to this?
The protests will will die down, yes, but the spirit will continue. The hurt which is inside the people's mind will continue. The protest, how long can we do? We might not be able to do the protest, but what is important is the sentiments and the feeling which is or the hurt which is inside the people's mind. That will live and continues.
The cookies you said some months ago, and I quote, have placed their hope in a new political future. Let me ask you, short of a separate administration, what can be the new future? And I'm saying short of separate administration.
See, for us, it's separate administration in the form of UT and legislature. That is our only demand right now. We do not have any other option at the moment. So we will continue to strive for that. But if in the meantime, if the government is giving us some offer, we'll look into it if it fits our needs. So Till then, separate administration in the form of UT legislature is our only demand for now.
But you can consider a come down.
That's why let the offer come to us. It has not come to us yet. Let it come to us when we'll discuss. And if it is good enough for the time being, who knows? We might take it.
Finally, let me ask you, in your vision for Manipur, do you see the Meitei and Kuki-Zo people always at loggerheads and the India Pakistan situation? Or can there be a meeting point or sitting across the table to discuss issues?
See, before the May 3rd, 2023 conflict, we lived together. The Meiteis and the Kukis have been living for many ages. It's just that the violence started and we've been marginalized by them. When this violence started and when the thought of the Meitei community trying to grab our lands by imposing several forests acts and the Meitei trying to become scheduled tribe. And all this awakened us and made us realize that the majority communities are trying to do away with us. On top of that, we lost so many life properties and so many become homeless.
But that was the situation on both sides.
The killing may have been yes, because the conflict started, so from both sides there has to be casualties. But what I'm trying to say is that we've been marginalized for a long time. And this conflict is like a no turning back kind of situation where we must be separated.
So, under this so called India Pakistan scenario or situation, then all this talk of government failure, which has been there since 2023, is actually an eyewash. Because basically, the intent towards talking, negotiating, sitting across the table is missing. So, why blame the center or the prime minister?
We do not blame the central government directly, but they could have taken steps to control the violence when it started. For a long year or two, they let Biren run the government. It's like letting the violence continue. I don't know why it is so difficult for the central government to grant our demand. We are not trying to break out of India. We want to be part of India. We want to be a good citizen. It's just that our condition is not favorable anymore with the Meiteis. We want to be administered separately. That's all.
Well, it's not as simple as that because you are, in one sense, asking for the moon and setting a dangerous precedent.
Presidents, we are not the first to demand for a state or a union territory. There are or history or evidence or examples wherein other new state or UT are created. Why we cannot do in our case? If you are trying to make us live together again with the Meitei, I don't think it's going to be possible. So many blood have been shed, so many life has been lost. So it's like trying to club us together, whether we like it or not. We have crossed a line. It's not easy for us.
So, are you saying, in one sense, that you have reached a dead end?
Yes, how can we return back? All our houses have been destroyed in Infal. Where will we live?
Give the new government a chance.
I don't know. Let's see. But we don't trust the government again. But having said that, we don't trust. Let's see what they can do. So I'm also giving a wee bit of chance for them to prove that they are not the same like the previous government. So let them prove themselves. It's too early for me to comment on that.
On that note, Mr. Ginza Wal Zong, thank you very much. Thank you for your time. And thank you for decoding the situation and telling us what the angst of the people on the ground is.
Thank you so much for having me here in Hindustan Time. Thank you.